So we've reached the first of the skins races. That's the ladies 50 freestyle skins. London have a 16.5 point lead over Energy Standard, 428 to 411.5. Katie, this is going to be a really exciting skins, I reckon.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm actually very, very excited about this. I think London have got a really good chance of scoring some big points here, but then we've also got some huge players like Sarah Sjostrom and Kayla Sanchez in for Energy Standard, Freya Anderson going in for Aqua Centurions, and Renomi Cromwell with Jojo going in for Iron, so it's going to be great. So
lane 1, Kim Bush for Iron. Lane 2, Renomi Cromwell with Jojo. Sylvia Di Pietro and Freya Anderson go for Aqua in 3 and 4. Sarah Sjostrom and Kayla Sanchez 5 and 6 for Energy. And Kate Campbell and Emma McKeon flying the flag for London Raw over in 7 and 8. The swimmers are ready for the start now. Just waiting for the crowd to quieten down. Vital for the London swimmers to make it through this first round if they're going to build enough of a buffer over Energy. And we're off round 1 of the skins. Kate Campbell was well away in 7, but it looks like Kayla Sanchez, who's just showing as they head into the turn. Down here, nearest to us in lane 2, Renomi Cromwell Jojo going fast, as you might expect. She's got the head of the race as they come out of the turn. Coming into the wall, we look to the far side to see where the London Raw swimmers are, but into the touch, it's first for Sarah Sjostrom. 5th and 3rd for Kate Campbell and Emma McKeown over the end. So Emma makes it through. Kate is out, Katie.
That's a bit of a shock. I think we were expecting Kate Campbell to be one of the final 2, to be honest. So we've got Emma McKeown in for London, Kayla Sanchez and Sarah Sjostrom in for Energy Standard, Renomi Cromwell and Jojo in for Iron. Freya Anderson 24-3, good swim for her, but unfortunately not through to the next round.
So in the eliminated swimmers were Campbell, Anderson,
Di Pietro and Kim Bush.
So we move on to the second round. Small points there for Kate. That's a bit of a surprise that we didn't see her get through to the second round, and that could be vital as this shakes out. The swimmers are on the end. They've got about their coaches around them.
2 minutes, haven't they, between rounds? So that's all the time for anyone who's not familiar with the format. They've got about 2 minutes in between rounds. I think it might be on a 3-minute turnaround each time.
So 3 minutes from start to start. So take the race out, as you say, Katie, about 2 minutes. You can see behind the lane there that Kayla Sanchez has got a couple of physios pummeling her, I think it's fair to say. Trying to knock that lactate out of her legs. Not sure how much benefit that would be, given how little time they've got, but I'm sure there's a psychological element going on.
Emma McKeon's still in the pool, just trying to keep warm, and it's a really interesting tactic because you want your sprinters, you want people to be really fast so they get through the rounds, but you've also got to have the stamina to get through round after round. So it is really, you have to be really careful with your preparation. You have to try and recover as much as you can in about the 2 minutes you've got. But also just getting yourself out of the pool and getting back on the block to dive again, it takes an awful lot of energy.
Well, Sarah Sjostrom was prowling around like a caged lion behind the blocks there. Coach Tom Rushton from Energy Standard was just giving us some last minute advice there. After the last round, we spoke to a sports psychologist, and really it was all about keeping it simple, just repeating the process and concentrating on your executing your perfect race and the things you can control. It's not like a skins race, Katie, where you go 8, 7, 6, 5. There's no tactics here. You've just got to get through and do the fastest you can.
Yeah, and it's pretty cutthroat with half of the swimmers going out each time. They're just approaching the blocks now, ready for the second round, so the time goes pretty quickly.
So we have Renomi Cromwell Jojo from Iron in 3, Sjostrom Standard in 4, Kayla Sanchez in 5 for Energy Standard, and Emma McKeown over in 6 for London Raw.
Perhaps not what London Raw would have expected after the first round, is that fair to say?
I think you're right. I think we would have hoped to see Kate in here as well, but it's a very, very strong field heading into the second round of the ladies 50 metre freestyle skins. They're ready for the start. Away then in this second round of the 50 freestyle skins. Chronometer Yo-Yo a long time underwater, but she's come up at the head of the race. Very, very tight going into the turn. Sjostrom, I think, over first. Back out, break out, and Sjostrom is up quickly. Looks like her and Cromwell Jojo who are going to take these 2 places, but don't count out Emma McKeown over in lane 6. She's finishing fast into the touch. And the scoreboard goes blank on us. I think it was Sjostrom, Katie, who got the touch there. What did you see?
Yeah, I think it was Sjostrom and Cromwell Jojo who go through, but it's unfortunately we can't see it yet.
And the scoreboard has frozen. There we go, confirmed now.
There we go.
Sjostrom 23.95 takes the win. Cromwell Jojo 24.19 in second. McKeown third and Kayla Sanchez fourth.
So this is not great news for London Roar's points, but so now we've got Sjostrom and Cromwell Jojo, the 2 swimmers left in, just having a little paddle down to try and cool themselves down before the final race. Huge points up for grabs.
So there are, remember, triple points available in this final round of the skins. 27 for the winner, 21 for second place. And if you're a London fan, you'll be supporting Ranomi Kromowidjojo here, Katie.
Yeah, I think you will. How many points for third?
So third there is only 12. So there's a big gap up to the last 2 places here in the team competition.
So with 16.5 points between London Roar and Energy Standard at the moment, if Energy Standard take the win with Sarah Sjostrom, then we will have been overtaken.
Well, indeed. So this could be critical because we think that Energy Standard will have the advantage in the men's. So maybe this could be the match right here if Sarah Sjostrom can take the win. It was these 2 swimmers who've gone head-to-head in previous editions of the ISL. Katie, who would your money be on in a head-to-head race like this?
Such a difficult question. I think like Cromwell Jojo is that sometimes just pulls it out of the bag. I would say that at the moment I would call Sjostrom the better swimmer, but I've just seen such determination in Cromwell Jojo coming back for it on previous occasions. It's such a tough one to call.
Well,
she looks so up for it, doesn't she, Cromwell Jojo?
She certainly does. Waving to the crowd, trying to get them up. Sarah Sjostrom had the 2 physios there, pounding her quads, trying to lose that lactate from that last round. It'll all come down to who's got the more resilience coming into this final round. I mean, Sjostrom probably more of a 200 swimmer than Cromwell Jojo.
Yeah, absolutely. Perhaps got a bit more endurance, but she's swum an awful lot so far today.
She has. So, lane 4, Ranomi Kromowidjojo for Iron. Lane 5, Sarah Sjostrom for Energy Standard. Who is going to take those 27 points? Could be vital in the outcome of this match. The whistle goes. The swimmers are now on their blocks, ready to go for this last 50 metres. And they're away. In this final 50 metres of the ladies' freestyle skins, Kromowidjojo was very fast off the blocks. It looks like she has the lead over Sjostrom as they come into the turn. She hits the wall first. They're back the other way. How is the breakout? Sjostrom pops up. She looks heavy. It looks like Kromowidjojo is moving away as they come into the last 10 metres of this last 50 metres of the skins. Kromowidjojo for the win. Yes, she gets the touch. 24.17 to 24.46. 27 points to Iron, 21 to Energy. That was perhaps not the result we thought, Katie.
No, not the result I thought, but I mean that almost looked like it was all about who had longer arms, because Sjostrom was really coming back at the end. It's really, really tough. If you haven't swum skins, it's like your legs are just full of lead by this point. So it's really, really impressive for them to be posting those kinds of times, you know, when they've swum 3 max effort 50s in a row.
So the points then from that: 31 to Energy Standard, 29 to Iron, 16 to London Roar and 4 to Aqua Centurions. That's a 15-point swing. So
that puts, I think it puts London 1.5 points ahead going into the men's skins.
That is 1.5-point lead. Now, we spoke earlier, we thought that maybe London would need 40 points coming into the skins. They had 16.5. They've held on to the lead. Is it going to be enough, Katie? That was
right.
It 1.5 points.
Well, we're just looking down the men's start list now. I think it's going to be tough. They've got Florent Manadou and Ben Proud in for Energy Standard. I'll be really honest with you, I probably wouldn't back Ben Proud over 3 50s because I think he is really a pure 50 swimmer. Florent Manadou, a possibility, I think. It's really going to be about getting through that first round. There are some other, you know, from some of the other teams, some really, really strong swimmers. We've got Vlad Morozov in for Iron. We've got Christian, someone whose name I can't pronounce.
Gokolomeyer.
Thank you very much for Aqua Centurions. It's such a strong field, as it was in the women's. I think perhaps Kate Campbell got her tactics wrong there for London Roar. I think she tried to hold a little bit too much back in that first round, although it was an incredibly fast first round. quite a few of the women under 24, which is, is serious speed. Honestly, I'm not sure that London have got enough to take the win here, but it's going to be a pretty exciting match.
Well, I think Morozov is the fly in the ointment as far as energy standard are concerned, because he's a great short course swimmer. He's a great 50-meter freestyler. Whether he can win it, we will wait and see, but it seems pretty likely that Energy are going to have somebody in that final two, unless something goes very awry in the early rounds.
Yeah, I think he's a really, really great short course swimmer. I mean, if I had to pick my final two now, I'd probably go for Vlad Morozov of Iron and Florent Manodou of Energy Standard, but with some of these guys it can be really, really difficult to tell who's going to be able to have the energy to take it through to the third round.
Well, we saw Emma McKeown, she snuck through the first round of the ladies' skins, more of a 100, 200 swimmer. Duncan Scott is going for London in lane 7. Vital for him to get through that first round, and then maybe he can make his speed endurance count. Yeah,
and we've seen Duncan dropped out of the 200 fly earlier, which was originally down to swim, perhaps as a way to conserve some energy for this. He's going to have to really put everything into this first 50 just to get through, and then hopefully as some of the bigger guys get tired, he can hang on in for those next 3 rounds. But it's going to be really vital for him to get through this first round.
Well, the swimmers are out on the deck. Duncan looks very focused over there at the far side of the pool from where Katie and I are standing. We have Peter Timmers in lane 1, Vladimir Morozov for Iron in lane 2, Christian Gokolomeyev and Vladislav Grinev for Aqua Centurions in 3 and 4. The big two, Florent Manodou and Ben Proud in 5 and 6 for Energy Standard. Duncan Scott in lane 7 for London Raw, and his teammate Yuri Kizil making up the 8 swimmers in this men's freestyle skins in lane 8. They're ready for the start. We're just waiting for the crowd to calm down. Lots of support here for the London Raw swimmers, as you might expect. And they're on the blocks, ready to go. They're off. First round of the men's freestyle skins. 8 swimmers in the pool. And Florent Manodou was a long time underwater, but he comes up near the front of the race. But it looks like Ben Proud, who's got the lead as he hits the wall. Big underwater work to miss the wave coming back. And it looks like Ben Proud is still leading. Duncan Scott is on his shoulder. Looks like he might make it through to the top 4. We get to the wall. It's Gokolomeyev who wins. Second place, Florent Manodou. Third, Vladimir Morozov. Equal, in fact, with Duncan Scott.
Fantastic.
And Ben Proud, having thought he would make it through, actually is out, Katie, in 5th.
It's a great even lineup, one from each team through to the next round. Brilliant swimming from Duncan Scott to be in joint 3rd there and to head through to the second round. Well, really close all round. Well,
Proud had the head of the race into the turn, I thought, but coming off the wall, Duncan Scott hunted him down. He surfed the wave coming into the wall, and he got that touch, which could be so vital when it comes to the shakeout for the final points.
Yeah, with there being only a few tenths between the first and 4th there, I think there's actually a really, really good result and a really, really strong chance of Duncan getting through to the final 2. When you look at them at the sort of body types we've got here, Duncan is smaller than some of the other guys who are pretty huge and will hopefully build up a little bit less lactic acid than some of them and recover better.
So what we really need as a London fan, Katie, is for Florent to miss out here.
Obviously I'm completely impartial.
So the swimmers are actually having a little paddle up and down. Now the rules say they're not meant to do that, Katie. Do you think this is, just a case of trying to loosen off, shake out as much lactate as you possibly can?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just swimming down to the extent that they can, and I think they're all doing it. I don't think anyone's going to kick up a fuss about them doing this. In a normal skins race you don't see it, but the stakes are so high here. It's pretty exciting looking through to the next round. I think there's about a minute to go before they start again. We've got basically 3 pure sprinters and Duncan Scott into the second round.
Well, quite remarkable that Duncan's found himself in this company. We have lane 3, Vladimir Morozov from Iron. Lane 4, Christian Gokolomeyev. Maybe he's the joker in the hat for this race. Lane
Florent
5.
Manodou with about 6 physios around him, just sort of wobbling his thighs.
So Florent's in lane 5 for Energy Standard. Over in lane 6, Duncan Scott then. Perhaps we hoped he would make it through. He has made it through. Hopefully he'll be able to replicate that and get through. But Morozov looks very focused behind the blocks there in lane 3. In fact, he's standing behind lane 2, but the official moving him over. Don't want him to start in the wrong race. Gokolomeyev, Katie, he's got a lot of experience in NC2A. Do you reckon that could be a factor here?
Yeah, I think it could. They're so used to just swimming loads and loads of events at college meets, perhaps just getting up and swimming even when you're tired week after week. So I think that'll count for a lot. It's the same with Morozov, who is also a swimmer out in the US college system.
So Flora Manadou ready first behind the blocks. Duncan Scott now getting up onto his block in lane 6. The swimmers are ready for this second round of the men's 50-metre freestyle skins. One from each team. Who's going to make it through to that final showdown? They're away then. Fantastic reaction time from Flora Manadou and Vladimir Morozov heading the race into the water. Nikolomeyev has some ground to make up as they head into the turn. It's Morozov who hits the wall first. Great underwater from Manadou, sees him back in, but here comes Duncan Scott in lane 6. Can he surf in like he did in the second round? It's very close. Oh, first to Manadou, second to Morozov, third to Duncan Scott, and fourth to Nikolomeyev. Well, that's probably a pretty good result for Duncan there. Third in this kind of company is not bad, Katie.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, these are the two that I think we would have expected to see in the final two. I think this will mean a definite win for Energy Standard, if I'm right. I don't think we can. I think the points difference will be too much, wherever he comes, first or second. But still, a great swim from Duncan Scott. It's interesting the fall off in times from the first to the second round in the men's. I think is an awful lot more than you saw in the women's. And I think it's because we've just got these guys in who are just pure 50 sprinters, and it's hard on their bodies to just keep going again and again.
Well, we know that Ben Proud only picked up 5th place, which is 4 points in the first round, because he didn't make it through. I didn't see where Yuri Kizel finished, but
I didn't either. I was too caught up.
Fewer than that we know, because obviously he didn't make it through either. So I think you're right that this is it in terms of the match. The Energy Standard will take it, but inevitably Manadou and Morozov are both actually going to want to win this. If nothing else, there are MVP points for the overall meet to consider as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's an awful lot up for grabs, and I think clearly both of these teams, London Roar and Energy Standard, will be through to the final in Vegas, which is really exciting. But it's just down to this final 50 now. That is if Morozov actually makes it to the end of the pool, whereas he's still swimming down at the moment, and now going to try and heave himself out over the pads to get ready for his final round.
So Morozov leaving the pool now after that little paddle. He'll be in lane 4 for this final round of the freestyle skins. Flora Manadou will be in lane 5, as Katie says. He has the physios pummeling him, trying to loosen up his quads, also the back of his neck, his shoulders. He's got a towel over his shoulders there, looking very relaxed.
Who's your money on, Steve, for this final round?
I'd like to say Morozov, actually. I think he looked a bit stronger in that previous round. I don't know, he wasn't saving anything clearly, but I just feel maybe he'll have the fast twitch. Manadou, the bigger guy, maybe he'll suffer a bit more with the lactate heading into this last round.
Yeah, Morozov looks a little bit more energetic, but then you might say that Manadou is perhaps just saving his energy a bit more. Okay. Little fist bump there before they go. Nice
friendly rivalry between these two. Morozov then going in lane 4, Manadou in lane 5. There's 10 seconds to go before they'll be off for this final round of the freestyle skins, the final race in this, the European Derby of the International Swimming League in London. Can Flora Manadou seal the victory for Energy Standard in this final event?
London Roar there, the whole team cheering for Morozov.
Yeah, here they go. And they're off. Great start again from Flora Manadou, and he's got the lead, I think, in the breakout. They're coming up to the turn now, but Morozov with that straight arm turnover hits the wall first, into the underwater. Manadou pops up first, but Morozov had him with the underwater fly kick, and looks like he's moving away as they head into the last 5 metres. It's Morozov all the way. He wins 21.78, Manadou 22.25. That's 27 points to Iron and 21 to Energy Standard. We'll see what that means for the match in a minute, Katie, but in the end, Morozov just had that speed. Yeah, he looked that much fresher. He was over very quickly on the turn, and it was really that underwater that did it for him, I think. So, overall results from that 50 freestyle skins: 29.5 to Iron, 25 to Energy Standard, 14.5 to London Roar, and 11 to Aqua Centurions. And that means the match overall, 467.5 points to Energy Standard, 458.5 to London Roar, a victory by 9 points, if my maths is correct, for Energy Standard over London Roar. I think they'll be pretty happy with that, Katie. Yeah, I mean, it was a great, in terms of spectating, that was an absolutely brilliant spectacle. It's really good to see a match that's close, and there's some real world-class times there, as we'd expect.
obviously seeing all the very best swimmers in the world here. But I think, that was a really, really exciting end to a brilliant competition.
So Energy Stand and London Roar head off to the Vegas final of the International Swimming League, where they will take on LA Current and
Cali Condors.
Who's your money on here?
Oh, it's so difficult because I don't think we've seen the best of all those teams. I think perhaps the strength in the US is that they're just used to doing competitions like this. They're just used to swimming when they're tired and getting up for their team and going again and again and again, which is something that we haven't necessarily had that much exposure to in Europe. But I mean, I don't know. I think both the European teams are in with a really, really good shout. They've just been consistently great. So I think it's going to be a brilliant competition.
Well, we look forward to that event in a few weeks' time. The Energy Standard swimmers looking very happy with their victory here at the International Swimming League in London.